I hate studying! But we all gotta do it. Whether you're still in high school or you're already in college, exams always seem to be around the corner. You finally finish one exam that had you clinging on dear life.
I love you 3000.
I said it thrice and I'll say it again. We're in a world where we are surrounded by stimulation. Short form content has really f***ed us up. It's harder than ever now to learn or study anything. We all feel like we have undiagnosed ADHD, and it's a good chance that you actually might have it. There are 6.1 million kids diagnosed with ADHD in America alone, and up to 60% of them will continue to experience symptoms into adulthood. I'm not gonna lie and say I have diagnosed ADHD, because I haven't gotten diagnosed by a professional. But you wanna know what's crazy? It took me 2 days to write this very script you're listening to up to this point. What are we now? A minute? If that doesn't count to some sort of relatability, then there's always that one kid in school that just aces every exam without a try in the world. And when you ask them, how'd you go? Ugh, I failed so bad. Disgusting. Now, I came across a very interesting video posted by the University of Central Florida. It's a 10-minute time-lapse of the same student watching two different videos, a math video and Star Wars. And it's an uncanny reflection of my attempt in studying anything. So, to fight fire with fire, I will make this video as stimulating as possible, to keep you sitting in a trance, forced to learn the study hacks that help me focus and become that student. Lesson 4 is one of the most underrated and impactful hacks that not enough students take advantage of. Lesson 1. Short bursts. The myth on longer studying equals more knowledge is just wrong. I learnt this the hard way. It's actually about studying more effective and adapting to your goldfish brain. This is where short, focused bursts of study come into play. You're not going to learn anything mindlessly staring at a textbook all day.
Back in my day, I studied for 12 hours.
Huh, let me put my surprised face on for that one. Trying to power through endless hours of studying is like running a marathon without water breaks. Sure, you might make it to the end, but by then your brain is too burnt out to do anything else. Studies show we can focus intensely for only about 45 minutes to an hour at a time. So why not embrace that and take advantage of those brain power bursts before your mind decides which crayon tastes the best? No, bad brain, bad. The idea is simple. Work in short, high-intensity bursts. Set a timer for an hour, dive into your study materials. When the timer goes off, you can take a break. It's the study equivalent of snack-sized candy bar, just enough to get the job done without overdoing it. Tools. There are a couple tools that help me stay engaged during these focus sprints. Flashcards are a classic, and for good reason. They're quick, interactive, and they force you to actually think. You can easily make these with scrap paper, or if you're lazy like me, you can get 500 of them on Amazon for only $8.50. Using short focused study sessions with tools like flashcards ensure that you're actually making the most efficient use of your time. It's a proven concept and it's being used all around us. How else do you think TikTok shorts and reels became so popular? Lesson 2. Use short-term rewards. If you ever found yourself staring at a mountain of study material and the first thing that comes to mind is, "F me," I've got just the trick for you. Bribing your brain to stay on task. Because let's be real, your brain is just a baby. It'll do what you want, but only if there's a promise of something sweet at the end. Instead of slaving through hours of studying with nothing to look forward to, but the slow realization that your hand is bigger than your face, break your study sessions into short, manageable chunks. Say an hour at a time. At the end of each session, give yourself a reward. Think snacks, a quick Soul Simple video, or even 5 minutes of mindless scrolling through your favorite brain. It's like turning a study day into a series of minigame levels, when you get a reward at the end of each level. The key is to make these rewards frequent enough that your brain stays engaged, but small enough that you're not spending more time on the rewards than actual studying. Take it from me, I love procrastination, I froth it. But if you go down that route, soon enough you'll know more about One Piece and how many gears Luffy has than your chemistry exam that you're about to take in 5 minutes. Lesson 3. Body doubling. Now, if you ever been that person who stares at their study notes for 5 minutes and before you know it, you're 5 videos deep into "he's finished," then this one's for you. Body doubling is basically the hack where you trick your brain into being productive by working alongside someone. Turns out, the presence of another human somehow makes you focus better. The best part is, the other person doesn't even have to be doing the same task as you. They could be working on a completely different project, but just having them nearby keeps you from falling down the procrastination rabbit hole. It's kind of like peer pressure, but instead of pushing you to do something dumb, it's nudging you to finish that essay you've been avoiding. And if you got ADHD tendencies, body doubling is a game changer. Having someone around provides just enough stimulation to satisfy your brain's need for something interesting. Thanks to this guy, we have what we call the internet. Virtual body doubling works just as well. Set up a Zoom call with a friend, don't even bother turning on the audio, and just get to work. Lesson 4, practice test. My trigger word is test. But here's the thing. Practice tests are your secret weapon to actually acing the real deal. Here's why they work. When you take regular practice tests or go through past papers, you're basically putting yourself in exam conditions without the actual fear of failure looming over you. It's like playing a video game on easy mode. To learn all the controls before cranking it up to expert. You get to see what you're doing well, but most importantly, you identify the weak spots. As they say, the link of the chain of... forget it. Taking practice tests also boosts your confidence. Let's be real. There's nothing more satisfying than going through a past paper and realizing, hey, I actually know this stuff. You'd be surprised how lazy exam writers are. Hand to crotch, the same 10-mark question was in both the past paper and the exam I took. It was just paraphrased differently. Kind of like every YouTube video out there. Don't underestimate the power of repetition. The more practice tests you take, the better you'll get at not just recalling information, but also applying it under pressure. Honestly, if I could only incorporate one study hack in this video, then it will be this one. It's such a life hack that surprisingly not enough students take advantage of. Lesson 5, learn to teach. You know what they say, the best way to learn something is to teach it. Well, turns out, it's not just some inspirational quote. It's an actual scientifically backed strategy. When you're prepared to teach a topic, your brain is forced to get its act together and structure the information in a way that makes sense. You'll find that by the time you actually sit down and study the material, it makes way more sense because you've already gone through the mental exercise of putting it all together in a clear way. Plus, if you do end up explaining it to someone else, you get bonus points for being that friend who actually helps people understand stuff instead of just panicking alongside them. Dude, we're so fucked. Final lesson, station. You see how I'm ignoring my phone? Very demure, very mindful. I'm not like the rest of these students when I study for exams. I'm very considerate about my GPA, very demure, very cutesy. Now, studying in the right environment is essential when it comes to studying effectively. It can make or break your study session. You need a specific spot that's designated for studying only. Make sure your study space is well equipped too. Have everything you need within reach. Pens, notebooks, flashcards, and snacks, obviously. So you're not constantly getting up and breaking... My mouth is full because of that bit. So you're not constantly getting up and breaking your focus. Ditch the phone. I know, it's like cutting off a limb. But trust me, your phone is the ultimate focus killer. One notification and you're suddenly checking your messages, scrolling through TikTok or wondering why your video has no views! So either put your phone in another room, or if that's too hard, turn on Do Not Disturb and keep it out of arm's reach. Just want to remind everyone, I take donations in form of subscribers.